Hello everyone and welcome to another real estate video. This is Javier Vidana, the real estate YouTube guy in Phoenix, Arizona, helping you accomplish your home goals. This is probably looking like a different environment, and that's because it is. I'm currently at home, and the reason I am home is because about a year and a half ago, I made a series of videos with a certain somebody that ever since I made those videos, people don't want to see me no more. It just completely took over my channel. All I get is comments about how I should bring back this certain person because I'm not gonna make the cut. I would like to bring back my amazing, beautiful wife, Miss Mercy. Come on out, please. All right, Mercy, welcome. How do you feel to be on camera again?
Good. Yeah, pretty good.
Awesome. Well,
so
sorry. So the reason why we're sitting down together here today is because we thought it would be a wonderful idea for, instead of just a realtor and his wife or a woman and his really crappy husband to sit down and share these ideas, but instead we wanted to talk to you guys as a husband and wife who have purchased 3 houses with our family on not amazing income or anything like that. Every time we bought a house, we've been able to do it with what we had.
What?
We would now like to talk to you about some really practical tips for you to start budgeting for your first down payment or just to save in general for your first house. When it comes time to start saving, there's 2 modes, right? There's like start saving for a house mode, or there's just like living everyday mode. What's the difference between both of them?
So, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but...
Okay, never mind.
So obviously, when you're saving for a goal, you are able to make more sacrifices. You're able to justify more sacrifices because you are working towards that one goal versus just like your everyday. Because I'm a strong believer that you should, regardless of the situation, whatever, you should always be saving a certain amount.
So for sure, the first thing that I think we would recommend is to know your numbers. And one phrase that Mercy said is plan for your worst month.
Find out what your survival number is. That's what we would always say is like, what's the dollar amount that we need to just pay your bills, keep your house or your rent or whatever, wherever you're living.
Homeless, yeah,
not be homeless, pay your utilities, like just the bare minimum.
Once you figured out what your survival number is, then you recommend you find out what your variable spending is. So can you elaborate what that means?
So variable spending is everything else basically. Now it's gone to the point where I can just kind of go the previous month and figure out that number and then adjust from there. If your spending has varied wildly from month to month, then you might want to go back different months, but really you could just go back the past 30 days and see how much you're spending, and that includes things like food, what did we say, gas, because depending on how much you're driving around,
food, gas, fun
is just everything it's like generalized as fun, but it's anything that I guess brings you joy. We're gonna do like Marie Kondo, like what sparks joy.
Like if you go to the strip club or you
if you
go drink coffee, Starbucks, whatever, I don't know.
Like movies,
okay. I like to think of this as a subcategory for the second section, but Mercy doesn't, and that's where we disagree. The subscription and the classes or gyms are essentially fixed variable spending. Things that are coming out of your payment, your bank account monthly on every time, because it's like a subscription of some sorts. You think that should be paired with variable spending as well?
Yeah, because if things ever got tight for us, like financially, I know that I can cancel our Netflix subscription. I know that I can cancel our gym membership. I know that I can cancel
Hulu,
Hulu, Amazon Prime. I know I can cancel my Ipsy subscription. Like those are like kind of things.
So at this point, you have already figured out your variable spending. You figured out what your survival number is, and hopefully, we didn't mention this, but hopefully you know what your net monthly income is, so you know what you're bringing to the table every month. Once you realize what we're spending on variable spending, automatically we just start panicking, and some of these things just start falling through, like, I don't have to be doing this no more.
Yeah. Let's not panic, it's more so guilt.
It's panic.
Well, it's guilt, because you look back and you think, like, I've spent how much on, like, eating out or, like, food and, like... and the food thing, like if you wanted to with these principles, like you could get really detailed and you could go in and like subcategories and all this, but this is just a bare like bones what I normally do. I feel like if I get too specific on any of these categories, it just gets overcomplicated, takes way too long.
Like, write a list if you don't have a list already, and just start figuring out what you'd love to do. Because Mercy, when we were talking about this, I was telling her that, yeah, they need to cut everything out so they can save and get their down payment right away. But Mercy suggested no, because a lot of the research you've done has always told you that you never want to cut out things you love, because then you can sabotage yourself that way.
Yeah, I mean, I explained it to him as like a diet. When you go all in, how likely are you from day one to actually go through with it and finish your goal? Most people are not. Like, there are some people that have that kind of like will and tolerance and all that, but most people are very likely to be hard on themselves. And from our side,
so we're not cutting out everything. We're saving some things for my pleasure, her pleasures. Her kids are still doing what they need to do, but we're not going and spending having dinners every other night, or we're not gonna offer to volunteer to pay for the carne asada for the weekend, or
if you have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, like
HBO.
You
maybe get one of them.
Just cut one, yeah. You don't need Apple Music and Spotify. So yeah, and one thing I kind of forgot is in that fixed like survival keep the lights on number. So that includes a savings amount. Even when it was just like myself working, when I was single, I was always putting at least like $25, $50 from every paycheck. I don't remember. I believe it was like $50 from every paycheck, and that was like without fail. That was just $50 going in before or after paying all my bills, but before any kind of other spending. As soon as I got the check, it was like $500 to $600 every 2 weeks.
I think we had said like 5% of your income. You always just did that.
Yeah.
So if you're making more, if you're making $1,000 a week, and then 5% of that would be what, $50?
Yeah.
$100?
So since we have gotten married, that number has gone from about 5% to 10%, just automatically, like without fail.
Yeah.
10% no matter what. And so that's just like a normal day or a normal month. We're paying 10% of our income. When he gets paid, when he gets a check, 10% goes into savings no matter what. In the past, when we have then said, okay, we're going to buy a house, we have changed that to 25%.
Once you know your numbers, you can figure out how much you can really allocate. Whatever percentage you decide to do, make sure you add that, like she has, into the survival number. You pay yourself like it's a utility, and even though it's not going up a lot, you're always contributing to it.
Yeah.
Right? So what do they do with the spare money that they're going to find from the variable number that they've supposedly have saved?
Well, hopefully that number that you're cutting, that's helping you save a little extra, is what you can apply. Hopefully that is about 15% more that's going towards your fixed like survival number. Yeah.
And if there's money left over, this is not money that you should go and spend money to go out and eat a dinner, nothing like that. When you're in survival mode, you're trying to be wise, buy groceries, not go out and eat, go to your mom and dad's house to eat, do what you got to do. I mean, that's what we did back in the day. We still do sometimes. So yeah, this is the numbers. Anything left, something that we would do is try to challenge ourselves to try to keep as much in the bank. And then once we got our next check, with that money that was left over, you would just move that into savings and then just work with the new numbers that you got. Yeah,
that's one thing that I've always tried to do is whenever you get paid again, whatever you have in your checking, I know that might be a little bit difficult sometimes, like if people use multiple paychecks to like pay a big chunk of like a mortgage or something like that. So that might, like I said, again, that might not necessarily apply to everybody, but for our sake, it has worked out that way that we can just put whatever is in excess. So if you need to keep a certain amount in your checking to pay a certain bill, then do that. But whatever is left over in excess, when you get the new check, then we put that towards savings.
Once again, these are things that help me and her when we're looking to save a house. This shouldn't be the definitive how to budget for a first-time buyer house or anything like that. What worked for us may not work for you, and we would love to hear from you if you use something similar or if these tips were able to help. Any other last tips for anybody, any struggling moms or dads out there that are looking to save up?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, like I said, there's no minimum amount that's the right amount to save. There are times where you are going to be able to save only like that 10% or even 5% or even less, and that's okay. Like, or don't even get strung up on like a percentage. Like if you can just put $5, like just put 5. Like if a dollar amount is easier on you. I have only realized now that the percentages that I'm putting in are like, you know, nice rounded number, like 10, 25. But most of the time it's just like, how much can I live without this paycheck this month, or like whatever for. Yeah.
Well guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you want to see more Mercy videos. If I should just change the name of the channel to Mercy. I know, just take over. Let us know if you want to see more and what topics you would like to see us talk about. That would be really great. And if you are looking for a home in the Phoenix, Arizona area, my contact information can be found below. You can also go to my website, javiervidana.com, go to freebies and get some free printables to help you with your home search. No freebie for this video because you know, for budget resources, guys, there's Dave Ramsey. Mercy's been using the Budget Mom. There's a lot of really great tools online that you can find that you can give them your email. For me, in this case, do what you got to do, have a rough idea of your numbers and follow our tips, and maybe search some other people to figure out what your budget is and really start nailing down on that is. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Sorry for our kids, they're in the back obviously wanting our attention. Thank you guys again. We're looking forward to the next one. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.